And Laurel is going to make a recording for us and send that out to me. And I will definitely include that in the follow-up email.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for the California K-12 Online Content Project for Britannica School and Escolar. My name is Laurel Green. I am one of the education consultants for Britannica. Here is my email address. And then if you have any questions about technical support, you can also reach us at edsupport@eb.com. And I'm going to be talking about several of the resources that you have through the California Online Content Project. This is your tax dollars at work. This is Prop 98 funded. It is a 5-year project that will be wrapping up in 2023. And also this provides resources for every public K-12 school and involves resources not just from Britannica, but also teaching books and ProQuest as well. But I'm going to be talking with you about the 2 resources that you have with Britannica, Britannica School and Escolar. And Britannica School is a resource that provides you over 145,000 encyclopedia articles across 3 levels, elementary, middle, and high. It provides you downloadable photos and videos. The articles are correlated to the standards. It has over 24,000 primary source documents that can be found at the middle and high school level. It has an interactive world atlas, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and you can use this on any type of device that you may need to use it with. Our second resource is Britannica Escolar, which is our Spanish language resource for native speakers, bilingual students, and students learning Spanish. This has 2 distinct levels of content, an elementary and a middle. And similar to Britannica School, it has articles, images, videos, and maps. Both resources, you can create a personal My Britannica account so you can save, organize, and share collections of content. This one also has the World Atlas, Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and you can use it on any device that you may need to use. So without ado, I'm going to go ahead into school.eb.com so we can take a look at Britannica School as a resource. And when you go to the home page, you'll see that you can easily go into the elementary, middle, or high school home pages. You can also click on the little carrots here to be able to do a keyword search from any of the 3 levels. We're going to go ahead and do one from the middle school level. Let's go ahead and put it in for California. So as you can see, as I put in my search, it's going to give me different options that I can click on to go directly into those resources. But if I click on the magnifying glass, it'll take me directly into the resource. And I can see all the information that's available to me here. Some things that are important to know is you'll see this reading level up here at the top. What this means is that I'm looking at it at the middle school level, but I can look at all the content from the 3 different age levels. But just a click of my mouse, I can look at the high school or the elementary if I need to. And then underneath that, you'll see all the different content types that are available related to your keyword search. We have articles as our default beginning one. We'll come back and take a look at that here in a second. I'm going to take you through the rest of the features as well, including our images. Things that are good to know about the images within Britannica School and Escolar is they're all rights cleared for non-commercial use. So you can feel confident using these in a project or a presentation. If you go into the sharing options here, you'll see some of the things that you'll be able to do with our images. We have different options to be able to share them through, either a direct link. We also have direct integrations with Microsoft Teams and Google Classroom. You can save this, print it, and we also have automatic citations for all of our articles, images, and videos. You just have to select the citation style that you want to use, and then it will generate that information for you to copy and paste. And then you can, of course, increase and decrease font size as you need to. In our video section, a couple things that I like to highlight for people on that is that you are able to use the videos with also to see the entire video transcript that's provided for you. So you have that below the video. And then all the same icons that I was showing you with the images, but just a couple things I like to highlight as well. You can also download these videos. So if you want to put them into a slide deck or project, you can. And then we have accommodations of closed captioning and audio descriptions provided for all of our videos as well. If you go into the More section, that's where you'll see the rest of the options that are available, including our dictionary provided by our sister company, Merriam-Webster. Here you can see the definition of words, here the pronunciation. When we get into the article, I'm going to show you how you can use that dictionary in a really helpful way to support students in understanding the content of the articles as well. But we also have magazines and journal articles provided by EBSCO. So these are additional resources related to your keyword search that you can take a look at, as well as WebSpec sites, which are sites that our editorial department have viewed and recommend as safe sites for you to be able to go and explore. So if you're looking for resources outside of Britannica School, this can be a great place to take your students to start in that way. And then we also do have those primary sources and ebooks. So related to your keyword searches, there's also things like entire works of Shakespeare are here if you do a keyword search on those, or entire works of Jane Austen, or a primary source document of like Einstein talking about the atomic bomb and sending a letter to the president. So there's all sorts of great resources in that primary source ebook for you to explore as well. But if you go into the article, there's a couple of things I do want to highlight for you. You can do an advanced search and do keyword searches and look for things specific, but you can also turn on Lexile filtering if you need to by selecting your Lexile range. And then what it will do is it will provide the Lexile measure next to the article for you and also filter based on the range that you've selected. You can easily turn that feature off by just clicking on the little X here, and that'll take that off. But let's go ahead and dive into the article and talk about some of the features that are there. Within the article, there are things to be able to support students as they're reading through the content. And one of them is what we call that quick click dictionary. So when students are reading, maybe they come to the word, for example, vegetation, and they're unsure about that word. They can double click on the word and they'll be able to get the definition, hear the pronunciation.
Vegetation.
And also get the Spanish translation of that word, which can be helpful for any students who are primarily Spanish speakers learning English as a second language. This is a great way to be able to support them as well. And then we have those icons up at the top here to support as well. A lot of these are similar to what I was showing you with our images and videos to be able to share, print, get those automatic citations. But these here are unique to the article. You can translate articles into about 80 different languages using Google Translate. So you would select the language that you want to use, for example, Arabic, and it would translate the article for you using a computer-based translator. So this can be a great way to support students if they're working at home with family members or a guardian and need that extra support in that way, or want to share what they're learning about in school. And they can easily turn this feature off. There's a little bar that pops up when you activate it, and you just exit and it'll translate it back into English for you. You can also have the articles read aloud by listening to it. So I'm going to play that for you here.
Introduction. Virtually every kind of climate, landform, vegetation, and animal life that can be found anywhere.
So as you can see, it reads it aloud for you and it highlights per sentence. So it's a great way to help students to work on reading fluency, or for those students who maybe are more auditory learners and prefer that option. And then you can, of course, increase and decrease font size based on your preference. And then the last thing I want to highlight for you within the articles, you will see that we have this reading level here, similar to what I was showing you before with our search results. You can easily look at the all three levels. So if you're reading a middle school and you want a little bit more of a challenge, with a click of the mouse, I can access the high school level text. But similarly, maybe I'm struggling with the content, I can go down and view the elementary level and adjust that text level complexity. What's important to know about this, though, is what I want you to see is, especially if you're at the middle or high school level, it will stay in the age group that you're doing the search. I'm going to open up another window and I'm going to go back into Britannica School and I'm going to do the same search at the elementary level here, to give you a comparison. And here you can see it is designed with that elementary student in mind. It is brightly colored. It's a little bit more fanciful for that age group in terms of its design, but also the information is chunked so as not to overwhelm our younger readers. And that read aloud is a little bit more prominently displayed. And so if you're doing the search at the elementary level, this is what the elementary article looks like. But if you're a middle or high school student, you're going to get a different look. It's going to match sort of the web design of the age group that you're looking in. So sort of considering that social emotional component for the students as well. And then what I'm going to do is give you a little just highlight of some of the homepage features that are here. Each homepage is designed with that age group in mind, but each one also has some key things that are important to know about. For example, we have an Explore Britannica section, which can be great for students trying to look at different topics that are of interest, or maybe they're trying to figure out something they want to do for a research report. So let's take a look at the images and video browse to give you a sense of what that looks like. So here you would select what you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in sports and hobbies. And then you can choose to narrow your search results. Maybe I'm interested in team sports. Maybe I'm interested in basketball, and it'll bring up all of the images and videos related to that. Or I could do that same sort of search and pull up the articles with the article browse. And then our biography section is alphabetical at the elementary level. At the middle and high school level, it's going to have some more filter results and options for you to choose so you can really find what you're looking for at that level. We also have our Britannica Fundamentals at the elementary section. That is our new interactive learning experience for our youngest ones for K through 2nd grade that reinforces language, geography, mathematics, and literacy skills while also helping to build digital literacy. And there are these 4 different paths that they can go into. We have a read section that has animated ebooks to introduce young learners to fundamental concepts like telling time or exploring shapes. We have our Explore section, which helps students to explore videos about different biomes and their characteristics. And we have a play area that has interactive games that hone early literacy and math skills. And then our last section, we do have a section to create where students can illustrate maybe a concept that they're learning or working on or something that they've been studying while they're exploring Britannica School. And then, of course, at the elementary level, usually the first research report is on animals. And so we have an Animal Kingdom browse section that goes by animal type, or you can go into all the animal kingdom and explore by habitat. And then across all 3 of our home pages, we do have a geography section. So you can go in and do an exploration of the world, the United States, and even do some other activities as well. I love the World Atlas. It is basically Google Maps paired with Britannica content. So if I do something like I want to go to Pompeii, it will zoom in on that part of the country, the world for me and that country, but it will also pair Britannica content with that country that I'm looking at. So I can get a summary of that country, profile, and related articles related to it. But I can also take this into satellite view. I can zoom in on an area that I'm interested in. And I can choose to grab my little orange person, drop them wherever I might be interested, and I'll be able to take virtual tours of different parts of the world. So this is great for studying a setting of a novel, looking at a place in history, and you have the entire world at your fingertips to be able to use and take on these virtual field trips. Then comparison, I want to do a comparison, take you into the high school homepage to give you a little bit of a sense of how that looks. Once again, each one is focusing on the age group and things that might be of interest to them. But there's a few things I want to highlight that are a little bit different here at the high school section for you. One is we do have an area that highlights some of our primary source documents, but also we have a section for our new and revised articles. And so if you go into this section, you can see what new articles have been updated or new content that may have been added. We tend to do about 1,200 or more content updates to Britannica School every month. And so here is where you can see that at the middle and high school home pages as well. And then a couple other things I want to highlight for you is if you go into the student section at the middle or high school level, you will have access to our Ready for Research e-guide, which has all the steps to walk you through a research project, but then it also has some directions, guiding you through it and examples. And then after it sort of gives you those examples, it has places with an editable PDF where you can then go in and fill it out and do it yourself to support you through the beginning and end of the research process. So that can be a really great resource for students to have that's within Britannica School. The other thing I want to highlight for you is creating that My Britannica account. If you sign into a personal account, you can sign in with a single sign-on with Google, you can create an account with us, or if you do use something like a Clever or Canvas, we also have single sign-on integrations with those. But when you sign into that, what can be really helpful, and I'm going to show you here as I signed into mine, is you can favorite content, but then you can organize those into a thing we call resource packs. And what's really great about resource packs is for educators, it can be a way to organize content to be able to share with students. And for students, it can be a great way to organize their content as they're working on a research project. So let me show you my resource pack, for example, on democracy to give you a little bit of a sense. But what's nice about it is when you add content and favorite and put it into your resource pack, you can go in and add individual notes. As you can see here, for example, I want maybe to have my students read the section on Athenian democracy in ancient Greece article, but maybe I don't want them to read the entire article. This can kind of guide them in that way. So you can put key questions or various things that you want them to know about each different piece that you're wanting to share within your resource pack, or students can use it as a note-taking to remind them why they want to use those different content pieces. You can also go in and edit your pack. And if you go into that edit section, what that's going to allow you to do is be able to rearrange the content. So you can choose to curate the way that you want your students to see the content within this resource pack. But also at the bottom, you'll have the option to be able to upload a document. So you can put in something like a lesson plan, an assignment rubric, or even a graphic organizer and be able to put that in there. So then when you're all done and you saved your resource pack and you're ready to share it with somebody else, you can easily get a link. And then what that will be is instead of having a link for your article, your image, your video, your primary source document, you have one link with all of your notes that you've put in with it or any graphic organizers, and be able to share that one link out to your students and give them a curated experience in some of the things that you're wanting to share on Britannica School. So that can be a really helpful resource to be able to use in that way. And now what I want to do is I do want to pop over to Britannica Escolar, which is escolar.eb.com. You're going to see this looks very similar to what we were just looking at with Britannica School in terms of the layout. But let's go ahead and do a search here at the elementary level. So similar to what we were seeing with Britannica School, I can go and move between the two levels. I also have my content type up here. So I have my images and videos. Let's take a peek into the California article here. And similar to what you were seeing at Britannica School, we're looking at the elementary level. So the information is chunked for that younger audience. That read aloud is prominently displayed, but you still have all those same other features that I was showing you. You can get those automatic citations. You can easily share to Google Classroom or Microsoft Teams or be able to print them. But this, once again, is written in Spanish by our Spanish editorial team. And another thing that's important to know is that you can have these read aloud in Spanish, which I'm going to play for you right now.
California es el estado con mayor población de los Estados Unidos.
So as you can see, it walks you through the text just like the other one. If you go into our home page, what you're going to see is that you still have those browsing features. One thing I do like to highlight at the elementary section in Escolar, there's quite a robust set of activities in Spanish that you can play here as well. And then if we go over to the secondary section, you will see on this homepage some browsing features as well, but similar to what I was showing you at the homepage before with the other one is that you can see what articles have been updated. And then we also have a section, if you're looking for the news in Spanish, this can be a great place to direct your students to because we have the news provided by BBC Mundo. So some really great resources that are here for you to be able to use. And then lastly, I just want to talk about that we do also offer a free Chrome or Microsoft Edge extension for Britannica School users that you can download called Britannica School Insights. What's really great about that is I can go to I'm going to show you here in Google, but it will work the same in either way. But if I go in and do my search on California, what it will do is it'll bring Britannica School content to the top of your search results page. And so you can then easily have a reminder that you have access to this resource that you can choose to go to and use and related to your different searches that you do on Google, or if you do it on Microsoft Edge as well. And you just go to your Google Chrome or Edge store to be able to download those for free. And then the last thing I do want to talk about is if you go to our BritannicaLearn.com website, there's a wealth of great resources that are here for you. You go into the resource section. And in the resource section here, you will have a few things that are here. One is our Britannica School activities that are updated. We have new ones each month. So for example, we're celebrating Earth Day. So if you're looking for some activities and resource packs centered around celebrating Earth Day with your students, you can go in and find that there. But if you go into our assets library as well, and then you go into our all products section and select, for example, Britannica School, you will find all sorts of great resources to support you, things like scavenger hunts, graphic organizers that are editable PDFs for you to be able to use, some strategy cards, and even things like logos or search boxes that you can add to a library page, as well as some additional videos to support you as well. So I highly recommend going and checking out some of those things. I'm going to put my information once again on the screen for you. So once again, I am Laurel Green. I'm one of the education consultants. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. It's lgreen@ev.com, but go and explore the resource. These are your tax dollars at work. Please spread the word and make sure that people know that we have access to these wonderful resources to use in California. Thank you so much and have a great day.